Wow. Wow. Episode 17 of Toilet Bound Hanako-kun Season 2. What a doozy. Oh my gosh. I've been struggling to get caught up onto with this series, and I told some folks on my last live that I was going to get caught up and make a video on it, and I'm really happy that I waited until episode 17 because this was a kicker. Like, every episode before then was solid. I mean, getting into the whole idea of the previous village that used to be at this, in this particular spot where the school is, getting into the whole shrine maidens and how they had to sacrifice themselves, the idea of the barrier and how you have to have a sacrifice in order to restore the barrier, and how Akane and all that stuff's involved with it. That stuff was still okay, and I love a lot of the shenanigans around the characters, but 17 was a gut punch. 17 is literally what I love so much about this franchise, is that it's goofy and it's silly here and there, but then suddenly out of nowhere, it just grabs you by the gut and says, have some feels. Have some feels. Like, the ending, I have so many questions. I am hurting, I am like confused, and at the same time I think I understand what's going on, and they definitely can't commit to this. I literally am like, there's no way they're gonna commit to this. We have too many times had them mentioning the fact that the whole time aspect, and how, Teru says to Akane, when Nene asked you, use your power to a full extent to help her. It's literally saying he's going to reset this. Now, at what cost is going to be the question mark. There could be a cost value to it to make it to where this is something they can't just rely on. But I have a feeling that there's no way they're going to keep to this. I think Hanako's going to disappear, and then Nene's going to go to Akane, and then Kane's going to recall Teru's words and go, okay, let's reset this. Because I don't even have Aoi. He's literally probably going to do it just because he wants to restore Aoi. But we'll see. But yeah, Aoi, like all that stuff around Aoi was just, so gut punch. But anyways, I don't really have too much to really talk about with episode 13 to 16. Again, it was a lot of like setup to this whole stuff about the shrine maidens and all that kind of stuff. Some stuff that was interesting was getting into the idea of the pillars, all the different pillars, which are all the wonders, and how they're ultimately all sort of keeping this barrier kind of set. But with, obviously, Hanako going around and destroying everything, it's causing a problem there. Now, that's obviously going to lead into the big question mark as to why Hanako's doing that. I mean, Nene is going to be going with him around to everywhere and destroying all these seals. What is he doing that for? And I think that can ultimately kind of play into my thoughts on how this episode 17 ended, and where Hanako is realizing our time together is over. I think what it's ultimately kind of building up to with Hanako and Yashiro's story, or Nene's story overall, is really the idea that I'm assuming the reason why Nene has had such a short lifespan, what is sort of, leading to the fact that she's going to die here soon, is this whole thing. This gap opening up is all building up to the story about the Akanes. The idea that this whole town that used to live in this area, and how the Akane family has been raising up shrine maidens this entire time for the day they would be sacrificed in order to close this barrier, and they've been doing this cycle for a long time. I'm guessing what Hanako's seen in Nene is that eventually she would be one of those shrine maidens. As it kind of puts at the very end there, after Aoi dies, he says they're both priestesses, they're both shrine maidens, they're both Kanagi, and because one of them died first, they took the place. Which, if Hanako is saying that, it implies that Nene was supposed to be in that position. She was supposed to be the sacrifice. That possibly the sixth wonder, the Shinigami, would have came for Nene, but he ran into Aoi first, and he chose to take Aoi instead. Well, you're one of that bloodline. Perfect. Here, come with me. It implies that it would have been Nene normally, and she would have been sacrificed. Now, it could be that Nene was going to die in a different way, and it's just because Aoi died right then, her spiritual energy went to Nene. She just absorbed whatever life she had left because her life was cut short, and they're both Kanagi. That's what I'm assuming is going on there. But either way, the interesting thing with the whole conclusion is, yes, one being the fact that Hanako is he's so nonchalant about it, and that's why I love about his character. It's just like, well, that's what she wanted anyways. It's like it's completely devoid of compassion for what happened with Aoi, but he doesn't know. All he knows that that's what she wanted. She wanted to get away from them. She didn't want to be with them. She was trying to get away. This is what she wanted. She kept saying that's what she wanted. Now, again, she was under the influence of something, but he's just going based on what she said. And again, for him, it's all about what he can do for Nene. If this helps our cause, shrug. I don't have any connection to Aoi. Hanako doesn't care about Aoi. He just cares about Nene. So here it's like, shoot, two birds, one stone. We're good. But the question mark is, with Hanako specifically, is how this concludes is him essentially saying, it's over. We're not going to be around each other anymore, which I'm curious about that. What implies there is because this sacrifice was made, because Aoi was sacrificed, he's not going to see Nene anymore. Which my assumption there would be is because this shrine maiden was sacrificed, that hole is closed, and not only just the spirits will suddenly disappear, they're no longer leaking out, but all the wonders are going to disappear as well. Hanako is going to have to disappear. He's being cut off from this point, and thus Nene will no longer see him. We're going to just basically have all the spirits are gone until that starts to open up again, and then Hanako and all them can come out again. I don't know. I was assuming that the only thing that was coming out was apparitions, but that's what Hanako is. These are all spirits and different beings and whatnot that are coming out of this. So he's no longer going to be able to see her. Super good stuff out. Super good stuff around, again, Nene and Hanako. And again, I just get a kick out of their relationship. their goofy little antics and everything. I just love that first scene of this 17th episode. And Nene's like, why do you like 6? He's just a scumbag. He's leaving you here to die over and over again. He's a scumbag. But no, let's get into Aoi. Let's get into Aoi and Ko. Absolute gut punch in this episode. My gosh. I mean, they've been implying this for a while now. The idea that Aoi is always this character that kind of pops up. She says some random thing, and then it ends up coming true. And I was always kind of wondering if possibly Aoi was going to be a character that essentially spawns ideas. Because of whatever she thinks of or whatever she writes down, it comes true. And that's going to be like some weird oddity about her. She's almost like number 4. The idea that she's almost drawing things into existence. But she always like talks about these oddities, and then suddenly it just happens. And that's why always Nene is like, oh crap, she brought up something again, it's going to happen. And sure enough, in this episode, she's literally talking about the Shinigami. I mean, they're doing the festival. This whole festival is literally some kind of thing that was left over from this village that used to be. And it was all about weaving the baskets, staying awake so that Shinigami doesn't come over and take you away, which is a play off of the idea of this old system of the Akanes who would be raised up to be sacrifices, and the Shinigami had to stay at their side and always keep them from running away. They turned that into this whole folktale. But it was always just that the Shinigami was keeping them from running away. It wasn't that he was coming to steal them away. He was always there at their side to keep them from running away. Yeah, this whole festival being built up, and Aoi eventually, getting stolen away by Shinigami. Eventually, them going down there in order to go get her. Shinigami has her drink a bunch of potions, which pretty much removes, I think it implies here, it's like her whole fear, like fear of anything. Sort of what happened to Nene later. It wasn't that Nene forgot everything, it's just that she just didn't have fear anymore. And I think the same thing sort of happened to Aoi. I would assume it's the same potion. They eventually find Aoi, she double crosses them, and she's saying something to the effect that she just wanted to get away. She doesn't remember what she wanted to do, but she just knows that she wanted to get away. That's all she remembers. And as we find out when Akane and her get kind of off the side alone, this all culminates into what I would assume, what I sort of gather, what I got a feeling of what she's saying here, is she wanted to die. She just wanted to die. And it sucks because I love like this whole scene where Akane just rips into her. I was like, holy crap, I wasn't expecting this. Because she keeps pushing him away, See, no, you don't love me, you don't really love me. If I said, marry me, you'd probably be disappointed. She's just constantly saying that, she's basically saying that she believes that Akane is lying to himself. You don't really love me. You're like everybody else that just walks up to me even though I didn't ask them to come to me. All this stuff. And I love how she's ranting about the fact that she doesn't like when people come up to her without asking. And yet she's like, but then nobody connects to me. And you all keep secrets from me. Nene even keeps secrets from me. Blah, 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 blah. She keeps like pouting to herself until eventually he says, you're right. You want me to tell you the truth? I hate you. In the end, what I think he's basically saying is, I hate this side of you. I think he even says at some point, I hate this side of you. The fact that you keep everybody at arm's length. You never open yourself up to anybody. You never tell the truth to anybody. You're wearing masks all the time. You're never revealing your true self. You wonder why Nene never connects to you? Is because you don't even show her your true side. You never open the door to anybody. That's why they can't connect to you. You're upset that nobody knows the real you because you won't tell anybody what the real you is. This is literally the side of you I hate about you. And it's the side that ultimately drove herself away from people. And again, what I got from her character is that she essentially blocked people off so much about her true self and kind of just portrayed always this perfect, cute Aoi character. She ultimately fooled herself into believing that nobody knew her true self because it was their fault. But in fact, it was her own fault. And then adding that the idea that she believes that everybody lies to her because they're always keeping their own secrets, and she doesn't even tell anybody about her own secrets and the pains that she's going through. The fact that her father is run off with some other family. All this stuff, I think, is culminating into the idea that right here, after getting this potion from Shinigami, she now no longer has the fear of death, and now she's craving it. She's craving death. She's accepting death. The thing that I've always wanted, to get away from this life, to get away from everything around me that is full of lies and people that put on masks and everybody that doesn't know the real me. And now Akane is saying, it's your own damn fault. Them not being able to connect to you is your own fault because you never opened to them. I've known you for a long time. I know how you are. You think I don't know you, but I know exactly who you are. That was, again, so good. Grabbing her on the cheek. Gotta grab that cheek. The little cheek grab. Girl, let me tell you. It was good. It was good. And then her just crying because he said he hated her. And he's like, yep, just like back then. The last time you cried like that is last time I said I hate you. And you were cute then. And then, yes, I lied to you. I actually love you. And it was just so good. Like, oh, gosh, dude. Like, putting aside the end of episode 17, that scene was so freaking good. So damn good. Which makes the later part hurt. But yeah, eventually they accept each other. Nearly kissing. So close to a kiss. And then Teru has to jump in there. Damn it. Teru just jumps in out of nowhere. I wonder if Teru knew. I wonder if he knew already. I mean, he asks Akane, like, you know, hey, I know why you're here, but why is Aoi here? Why is Akane-san here? Why is she here? He's kind of wondering why a random human's here. I can see why somebody in the form of one of the Wanderers is here. But why are you here? And yeah, he does kind of point out the fact that your wound, don't transform back because you will not be able to survive it in human form. And also saying if you're lucky, it'll only take a couple of years off of your life. But if you're not, you're dead. Kind of implying the idea of whatever Aoi did to him could be a lethal blow. But again, I kind of wonder if he knew right here, she's dead. He says something to the effect that even when they're walking around that under normal circumstances, no human would be here. She's dead. I don't know, he gives her a charm and protects her, but maybe he might have done that just to appease Akane. I don't know. But yeah, they eventually walk around. Eventually, Teru does reveal to Akane and Aoi the whole situation with the Akane family and the idea they always like raise sacrifices. It was in the area where the school is currently at. And yes, the idea of the Wanderers and how they are essentially pillars that both cause problems for the school, but additionally also protect the school. It protects the boundary or whatever. And yes, to be careful with Hanako-kun, because for some reason he's destroying all the seals that everything is implying is causing all the problems. And again, I'm very curious to find out what that is. And I kind of wonder what actually is happening with that. If the Wanderers are the barriers, and Hanako is destroying the barrier by removing all the seals, is it a possibility that he was trying to force this barrier open in order to force Shinigami to close it, thus to protect Nene from being a sacrifice later? I wonder if he was speeding it up in order to prevent her from being sacrificed later on. That's sort of a theory that I have. But yes, eventually they go down the tunnel, and I knew the moment that Teru was like, don't look back. I'm like, oh god, no. No, this is she's totally going to let go of his hand. She's going to let go of his hand. When is she going to let go of the hand? She's bringing up the giraffe. She's wanting to know him more, so she's just bringing up random things about herself. Literally doing exactly what he was saying that she wasn't doing. You never tell anybody about yourself, so she wants to tell him about herself. I like giraffes. I like this. I like that. What do you like, Akane? Tell me more about yourself. I love you, Aoi. And then she lets go of his hand. Oh, gosh, gut punch. I wish I could say I love you. I think she knew already. I think she knew that she couldn't go back. I think she knew that she was already dead. The moment that she fell in that pit, I think she knew that she was dead and that she couldn't return to living. She was already dead at that point. Her soul has separated from her body, and she knew that she couldn't go back. So she's like, I wish I could have said I love you before I died, basically. But yeah, they walk that door, and she's not there. And then we come over to Hanako-kun and Nene and Sumire, and they pop out, and immediately Hanako gets word that, yes, Aoi didn't make it back. She was already dead. And to his conclusion here, again, because Aoi didn't make it back from there, she's dead, thus she served the role as a sacrifice. And apparently because both Nene and Aoi are priestesses, Kanagi, shrine maidens, that because they're both this, Aoi took the role as the sacrifice over Nene, and that her remaining spiritual lifespan has gone to Nene, thus overcoming Nene's short lifespan. what? That conclusion, I'm like, what are we talking about here? What? Wait, go back. And this is sort of a problem that I was kind of facing last core, and I told everybody that I was going to go back and like read/watch the show again from the start just to kind of refresh her, because it's been like 5 freaking years since the first season. The problem that I'm having right now is I'm like, wait, did they establish before that Nene was... They've obviously for a while now have been implying that Nene is special somehow. That's why she's able to see the spirits. The idea that she is so close to death, that's allowing her to see the spirits. But I don't know if they've ever implied the idea of specifically that she's like Akane, that she is possibly from a bloodline of Miko's, shrine maidens, whatever. But again, this goes to my theory of like, if she's taking the place of somebody that is supposed to be a sacrifice, does that mean that Nene was originally supposed to be that sacrifice? That again, was he trying to, push forward, fast forward to the point where they would need to fix this barrier by breaking all the seals and forcing, again, Shinigami to find a different sacrifice, find some other way of closing it up to save Nene? I don't know. I know it doesn't really go technically to the original introduction of Hanako and Nene, of her just wanting to be loved by the one that she loves. Now, he did sort of fulfill that in the idea that they both love each other by this point. I mean, it's pretty much solidified at this point. The two of them love each other, but I don't know. Just him cracking at the end there, I'm like, okay, that kind of solidifies the idea that the barrier's been fixed, that, again, he's going to disappear. But will he come back? Question mark. Or, again, my current prediction is going to be Hanako disappears in front of Nene. She goes, what the hell's going on? Then probably Teru shows up and says, yeah, the barrier's been fixed. They're all gone. There's no more leak. The hole has been closed. The sacrifice of Aoi has brought that about. And again, I think that Teru knew. I think Teru knew that Aoi was dead already. And again, this can turn this whole thing where either Akane, through like the grief of losing Aoi, ends up turning back time, or Nene requests at that point before he even says anything, please turn back time. We got to save Hanako. I can't lose Hanako, or something like that. It doesn't have to be this way, basically. It doesn't have to be this way. We can do something else to get the same effect. I don't want to lose the apparitions. I don't want to lose the spirits that are kind of going around the skull. Something like that. But I think at the core is going to be, I don't want to lose Aoi. And I don't want to lose her. I don't see them sticking to this. I don't think that they're going to leave her dead. But I mean, she could still be in the school as a spirit. I mean, we've kind of had that whole situation with Mitsuba. Mitsuba has always been kind of running around as a spirit, so there's nothing new there either. Anyways, god dang, good stuff. Good stuff. What an episode. Did I miss anything that's like super important? I love Sumire calling Hanako Gon. You're bad doggy. She kept treating him like a little bad dog that's always grumpy. I really did like Sumire. I'm kind of glad they brought her back from the other side so that she can kind of hang out with them, because she got a little snappy nature around Hanako. Though she was kind of nasty for testing out the repeating world by having Nene step in for her. That was nasty. I'm sorry. That was kind of nasty that she was experimenting by having Nene die. Anyways, I hope I covered everything that I wanted to cover. We'll see. I'll probably know when I edit. Dad, I forgot to talk about this. But good stuff. I'm really curious how the next episode is going to open up. I hope it doesn't just dry open with like Nene going to school and they all act like nothing existed. There was no, apparitions. There was no spirits. And then at some point she just goes, why am I going here? Why am I going to the bathroom? What was I coming here for? Oh, that's right. I was calling Hanako-kun. Oh, I forgot about him, or something like that. I hope it doesn't dry open like that. I really do hope they have like a little goodbye thing and just jump right into what are we going to do next? Because that's the curiosity there. But anyways, that's my thoughts on technically episode 17 of Hanako-kun season 2. Was it episode 6 of part 2? I hate the dull. I think it's 5 of part 2. I hate how everybody decides the episode counts differently. I go by Japanese usually, and Japanese is going based on season 2 and then counting up from episode 1 of part 1, so it's 17. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, hit the like button down below, comment. Let me know if you think of the episode. If you're a fan of the manga, please no spoilers, but feel free to correct me if something has already been covered in the story, because I'm sure I probably got a bunch of stuff wrong. But I want to talk about it, so I don't care if I get things wrong. But anyways, hope you guys enjoy it. Until next time, y'all take care.